Welcome to Stars Podcast. Through self-defense, mixed martial arts, nutrition, family, and all things in between, we share our journey of how we hack our mind and body to get the maximum return out of each day. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the journey. Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Ron Jordan coming at you from my kitchen, actually, not iNtO Studios. But we are coming at you with another daily growth mindset blog post. Today, we're talking about cryptocurrency. I wanted to run you guys through what I've been learning here my last 30 days in crypto. So here we go. My crypto journey. The sauce is education. Have you ever played a game online and bought more gems or coins to get to the next level on Candy Crush or some other app-based game? I know I have, and I know all of our kids have at some point. At least they have asked. My life is 80-20 online versus real life during the pandemic. I've been an internet guy my whole life. I've always been a gamer. I seem to be a little more trusting of the online platforms than most. And I want you to keep these facts in mind as I run you through the things I've learned in the past 30 days about crypto, blockchain, hot cold wallets, Web 3.0, Ethereum, all the other key terms that I'm going to review here. I may botch some terms, and none of this advice is to invest or any of that. I'm just trying to help the next person trying to understand the process and why this stuff exists at all. Let's start with blockchain. The way I understand blockchain is this: the sequence of all blocks that have been committed to the Ethereum network in the history of networks. So named because each block contains a reference to the previous block, which helps us maintain an ordering over all blocks and thus over the precise history. What? Think of this in terms of a dollar. We have all used dollars forever for physical goods and services. Think of all the people in America agreeing that $1 is how much one 12-ounce cup of coffee should cost. We all agree. Now that coffee costs $1. Well, then comes along a person that says, well, I think it should be $2. We all disagree with that person and tell them, no, we can't do that. That transaction doesn't go through. These transactions are done in blocks at a time, which are sometimes hundreds at a time. The chain refers to all of us who agreed that coffee should be $1. Okay. Well, now we need a market to sell the coffee. And then we think, well, crap, we can't do this all on our own. We need a community to do this. And this is where I'm going to drop the Coffee Act and move to Ethereum specifically. Because using the analogy kind of stops working, because this is where I believe that there's a difference between the fiat currency, which is just normal money, and cryptocurrency. Introduce dApps, DApps. These are apps that are using Ethereum networks as their security backbone for the transactions. This is where my mind sort of starts to sizzle a little bit. So you need projects that use the Ethereum and the distributed network in order for Ethereum to have any value whatsoever. If nobody uses it, then there's no value, which is why 99% of these cryptocurrencies will likely fail. I think of Bitcoin and Ethereum like Ford and Chevy. They're the front runners. There will be others like Doge, Decentraland, and Cardano that survive also, as they have quite a lot of dApp projects using their distributed networks. This is where I want to say this. Invest in what you can lose, first off. These could be valued at $3,000 today and $0 tomorrow. If there's no projects using the distributed system, I personally don't see how the cryptocurrency survives. The currency is the safety protocol. It is the security of the network. When you hear about mining, this is what happens. When a bad actor comes in, let's talk about Mr. $2 Coffee. When a bad actor comes into the arena and tries to disagree with our $1 coffee, everyone up the blockchain is referred back to in real time as a witness that we are still doing the $1 coffee. Mr. $2 Coffee is set in the middle between him and the next node. Well, the next node down from Mr. $2 Coffee writes a new protocol saying, hey, I just saw $2 Coffee, and kick that $2 Coffee node from the chain. And that node is rewarded with Ethereum. See, that node just mined cryptocurrency. If you were a trusted node and compute these blockchains against the smart contract correctly, then you earn Ethereum as your payment. Now on to NFTs, or non-fungible tokens. See, for me, these are the easiest to understand because those apps that we all pass time and crush candy, well, the coins you're buying or gems or whatever the case is for those in-app purchases, those are NFTs. Those are called non-fungible tokens. The coins have zero value if we don't play the game. It's not like you can take a bunch of gems from Candy Crush and then go buy a car with them. See, they're non-fungible tokens. The same goes for an NFT project. See, the art is an afterthought of the actual project, in my opinion. Yes, there will be some Jackson Pollock caliber NFTs that have value just because they're from Beeple. He's an artist. If you haven't checked him out, he's sort of the godfather of 3D art in the digital world. So those digital art pieces, look at Beeple. Anyhow, so just as much as you lost interest, hang on, back up. Remember that here's what I want you to remember. I want you to remember that the NFT really has no value if nobody's using the system that it's on. Okay? So we're trading our fiat currency for the NFT. So think about it in terms of Beanie Babies back in the day. Just as much as you lost interest, so did the market. So those things have no value. Some of them may, to a niche group of people, but overall, they don't have value. Okay, so we trade our fiat currency, that's a fancy word for dollar bills, for those coins. In order for that transfer to occur, there needs to be a transaction between the game developer and our banks. That in between is Ethereum. In order for that transaction to happen, the network must be trustworthy. That's why typically you're seeing like Shopify is one out there right now. There is that's one that comes to mind like right out of the gate is Shopify is one, PayPal is one, all of those systems. So those are trusted systems. However, we need to distinct between centralized and distributed networks. See, for that transaction to occur, you have to have that trusted network. It's either a centralized, decentralized, or distributed network. Here are the key distinctions between a centralized system and, say, a distributed system. Centralized system carries the burden of keeping all the keys to the data and all the keys to the security. This is a good for transaction speed, but not so much for security, as the central system has a single source to crack the code and to be hacked. Have you ever heard in the news that there was a data breach? Enter in distributed system. Now, in a distributed system, yes, there is one ultimate smart contract that all of the nodes refer back to. However, no personal data is stored in that block of information that's being transacted between, let's say, Ethereum, let's say Coinbase and the MetaMask, which is our wallet we haven't gotten to yet. There's a smart contract that says this transaction should go through at this, like, per these codes. I'm not super familiar with smart contracts. That's kind of my next dive in of what smart contracts are and how to build them. However, understand that a distributed network is a system that is decentralized in nature but relies on other nodes as sort of trusted friends, put it to you that way. You know, they all have to agree on the system for that transaction to go through. Now, as you can tell, this would take more time than a centralized system. So there's a thing called gas or ETH. Get it? Ethereum. Every time that data is processed, there's a gas fee. So if more data needs to be processed, so if a lot of people are on that Ethereum system, then there's going to be more gas price. So demand for gas is high. So you're going to pay more gas. If you are able to wait longer for your transaction to go through, let's say day-to-day transactions, you know, those pending transactions that are on your credit card, if you're okay with all of that being sort of delayed, you pay less gas prices because your transaction can be done in a batch that others don't need to worry about their time either. So it can be done as a sort of in the production world, we're trying to fill production space. So if you can wait longer, you get put in the next available batch. If you want to be done immediately, you're going to pay a higher gas price. And that's really the long and short of what I have learned so far in cryptocurrency. Here are my predictions. I'm pretty bullish. I feel like we are going to have virtual land to Decentraland. We'll have hot wallets and cold wallets for cryptocurrency. Those things will just become what we have for day-to-day transactions. I think this is a time in our evolution where chips in our system, in our body, become something. I know that that's so wild, but think about this. Think about if you have all of your life savings in crypto in a cold wallet. And I'm going to go over what a cold wallet is in the next episode. But if you go to some of the links that I'm going to provide, you'll understand what I'm talking about here. If you have all of your data inside of a cold wallet, but you forget your 12-word code to get into it, you're screwed. You have zero access. Because remember, this is decentralized. This is distributed network stuff. Nobody has your password. Nobody's going to reset your password and send you an email. This is all on you. So be very careful in what you do and what you invest and where you put those codes. Because that could be the long and short of your crypto journey, really. I think we also have a situation where tattoos of QR codes become a thing. I've been listening to Clubhouse rooms and community chatter on the all types of different networks, especially this new Discord channel I'm on with NFTs because Gary Vee's dropping his on 5.5. Like, this is going to get weirder before it gets any more like it was, I don't know, last year, 2020. It's going to get weirder and weirder and more virtual. And I don't know. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. Again, I've been in this world for my whole entire life as far as the gaming world. And I know that there are a lot of people talking about this stuff. It's becoming more mainstream. Now that Elon Musk is involved, there's Mark Cuban's involved. There are some people that, if you look at the history of some of the bigger moves in our culture, Mark Cuban, Elon Musk, and to a certain extent Gary Vaynerchuk, those guys have all sort of predicted the future and pushed in a way that entrepreneurs do. So they're doing it. So I'm paying attention. That's all, guys. As always, enjoy the journey.
So the journey has begun. If you guys listening to our content today had any kind of value or you were moved in any way, please feel free to subscribe, pass it on, let everybody know that these two guys are the truth. They're out here just trying to do good things to make good people.